During our generation's digital gold rush, everyone is itching to make their first $10,000 online. From day trading and e-commerce to TikTok shop and YouTube automation, there are countless of ways that people are trying to make an income online. But just like the previous gold rush back in 1848, the majority of people who got rich weren't the ones digging for gold, but instead the ones who were selling the shovels that actually made a killing. And in today's digital gold rush, that's exactly what remote sales is. You're literally just selling the shovels to those who are searching for those golden opportunities online. Personally, it took me 4 months to reach my first $10,000 a month, and before that, I went through countless struggles out here in Thailand. I went completely broke and even had to fast for 4 days just to keep my dream alive. To make absolute certain that you don't go through similar struggles that I went through, I'm going to lay down a full 5-step blueprint to navigate through the process to your first $10,000 a month fast. And with this 5-step blueprint I'm giving you guys today, it'll enable you to create a life of your creation, a life on your terms that will be able to unlock time freedom, location freedom, and eventually financial freedom. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight in. Boom. So now I'm going to take you through the full 5-step process to get you from $0 right now to your first $10,000 a month in remote sales, starting with step 1, which is acquiring and honing in on the skill of sales. Now, to be honest, guys, you've had this skill your entire life, ever since you've been able to mutter your first word. Whenever you've made a friend, a girlfriend, boyfriend, you've made someone like you, you've already sold someone on them liking you. Literally everyone uses a skill of sales in their everyday lives. It's just a matter whether or not they're actually getting paid for it. And to start with remote sales, you need to level up your skill of sales to be able to set an appointment as an appointment setter or close a deal as a closer. Then, of course, it's all about finding the right offer, the right opportunity in order to use the skill in the right vehicle. Because otherwise, you can be wasting your time, energy, and money on the wrong vehicle and not making any money whatsoever. Because with remote sales, it's entirely dependent on the offer that you're on that determines how much money you're able to make. You can have the best salesman in the world on the worst offer in the world, and he's going to be making absolute scraps and pennies compared to the worst salesman on the world on the best offer in the world, who's going to be absolutely printing. Now, the skill of sales, it can be improved in many different ways. I think personally the best way to do so is to go out there in the real world, build connections with people, build relationships, and connect with people on a deeper level, because that's all sales really is building relationships with people, connecting, and changing lives. Another way you can improve your sales skills is, of course, by watching YouTube videos, reading books, but another really good way is to invest in mentors, coaches who might be a little bit leveled up in terms of their sales skills. Then it's all about just finding where to use a skill, as it's the most crucial part on your journey to your first $10,000 a month. And that leads us on to step 2, which is landing your first gold mine offer. And I'm going to be very blunt with you guys. Landing your first role in remote sales, honestly, it's the most difficult part, which is why I'll lend you guys the shadow funnel strategy, which is the exact strategy I used and 50 plus others of my students have used to find, land, and keep the gold mine offers that they're on to provide them $10,000 plus a month anywhere in the world. And the most important factor you need to pay attention to is your input and your focus in this strategy, because if you just do this a few hours a day and you give up after a few days, you're going to ultimately fail. It will work out only if you're willing to actually do the consistent work until the job is done and you actually land a gold mine offer. And the work isn't even that hard, but 99% of people are absolutely lazy and losers and won't even do this very simple strategy, even if it's guaranteed to land them an offer, able to grant them instant $10,000 months. So now I'm going to give you the tangible, actionable steps that are going to take you from not having an offer to landing and keeping your gold mine offer. So first off, go to YouTube, write this down, get a paper and pen, go to YouTube, and then you're going to search up your desired niche. Day trading, e-commerce, dating, fitness. Just put yourself in the prospect's shoes and think what types of questions would they put into the search bar in order to level up that niche. So for day trading, you can look up how to start day trading as a beginner, how to start dating girls, whatever it is that you actually want to sell or set for, that's what you're going to be looking up in the YouTube search bar. Then from there, you're going to need to locate a high ticket offer. And to do that, that's where the shadow funnel strategy comes in. You're going to be going through their videos, their bio, their description, clicking through the links that are located there. And then from there, you're going to go all the way through until you either find a price point or an actual step to book a call. And when there's an actual step to book a call for yourself, that's when you know there's obviously a high ticket offer. So from there, just fill it in, make sure you're a qualified prospect until you book that call. And then from there, you'll get an email from either a closer or the offer owner, and that's the first email that you'll be attaining. Then the next email you can get is in the About section. You can just click the About and see their business email. So that's 2 emails you already have. And then from there, you can find their social media platforms that they're on: Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Upwork, pretty much any platform you can think of that they might be on. Try to search them up across all different platforms. And then from there, you're just going to want to record a 30-second to 60-second video using the framework that I'm putting down in the description. And then after you make this video, it's very important that you have very high confidence and you're very authentic with who you are, have high energy, you look good, you're freshly trimmed, you don't look like a loser. And you just need to send this exact video, all angles possible, both of their emails, all of the different platforms that you're able to find them on. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to step 3, which is crushing it as a setter. After landing your first role, it's now time to solidify your position as a setter. Otherwise, if you slack off, if you're like, okay, the job's finished, I landed a Goldmine offer, and you just kind of lay back, that's when you'll be able to see yourself very quickly kicked off of the team. In order for you to solidify and stay on the position as a setter, you need to double or triple the workload of all the other setters on the offer. Make all of them look like scumbags, losers. You need to be the best of the best setter in order to solidify yourself, because otherwise it's very likely you're brand new to the remote sales space. And if you just do what everyone else is doing, they're probably very likely higher experienced than you, and they're probably a lot better than you. So in order to combat that with the lower experience that you might have right now, you need to double or triple the workload and the effort. So that way the offer owner or the chief sales officer, he'll be able to see your input and be like, okay, even though this guy sucks, he's still able to do numbers. He's putting in the work. He's putting in a lot of effort. Why would I kick him off? He has a lot of potential. And that's why you need to do as much effort as you can, double or triple the workload, so that way you prove yourself that you're willing to work hard and that you're willing to learn and grow. Now, of course, the first few weeks as a setter will be uncomfortable, as it's something you've never done in your life before. But just like anything that's uncomfortable in life, you will grow, you will adapt, and you will conquer, and you will level up overall. And to help you guys out, I put one of my setter scripts in the description down below, so at least you have a foundation, a format for the setting calls that you'll be going on. Now, as a setter, this is when you'll be able to make your first few $1,000s in remote sales, and now there's no turning back. It's only up from here. And that leads us on to step number 4, which is to level up to become a closer. Now, being a closer, it does take a lot less work, but requires a lot higher caliber of skill in terms of your ability to sell. Because as an appointment setter, you're only selling an appointment. It's like only a 10-minute, 15-minute conversation. But as a closer, it's a more in-depth, more personal call, where it's like 20 minutes to 40 minutes to even an hour long. In closing, it is a lot more profitable, but it does take away a little bit of the time freedom. And what I mean by that is because as a closer, you have to show up to the designated times that meetings are booked. Now, of course, as a closer, you can set up your time. So right now I'm working from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., but you can work a lot less. You can work a lot more, entirely dependent on you and what your goals are. But whatever times you do have available, the calls that are booked, you have to show up there. But as a setter, you can work literally whenever you want throughout the day, as long as you're doing good numbers and making money for the business. And the mindset that you need as a closer to do very well is to think of yourself as a doctor, and the patients that you have are the prospects that you're speaking to. Think of it like this: the prospects that you're speaking to, the people that are hopping on your calls, they have a sickness, they have a disease, and that disease is their problem, their life. And your job as a doctor or a closer is to figure out what that problem exactly is, what sickness they have, diagnose it perfectly, and then provide them the cure or the medicine that's able to take them from sickness into 100% health. You must figure out what sickness they have perfectly and make sure they actually align with what you're selling. Because if they're not perfectly aligned with what you're selling, then you don't need to sell them. You can just send them on their merry way, wish them the best of luck in life. Not everyone's going to be a good fit. That's what your job is as a closer. Make sure they're a good fit, make sure they can afford the medicine, of course, and then provide the medicine, which is what, of course, you're selling. Personally, I found that closing to be a lot more enjoyable just because you're able to change lives on just 20 to 40 minute calls. So now that you have the exact pathway to your first $10,000 month with remote sales, you've already taken the first step to start living unchained and creating the life where you can live on your terms. And once you reach that $10,000 mark, there's no stopping there. Don't just settle there, as that's the bare minimum to aim for, as $10,000 a month, that's the bare minimum every man should make to start unlocking the doors to a life that he can actually create, that he truly enjoys and never needs to escape from. From there, it's just about doubling down on leveling up your skills, your network, and your mindset to reach $20,000 months and upwards from there. Now, it's entirely up to you what you desire in life, but hopefully this has helped you if you have the life of travel. That's kind of something you crave, and this is something to help you move the needle forward to actually get there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.